have updates from So You Think You Can Dance and another dance event, very, very popular, Hip Hop International. That's brought to us by Pacific Rim Video on the red carpet today on Kababayan Today. Meanwhile, news is courtesy of Balita.
Pinoy na Pinoy, Weekend Balita.
Yesterday on the show, we featured film actor Chris Aguilar, who talked to us about being a drag queen. He does those roles as well as some male roles for him. And he talked about being a drag queen, and he talked about, you know, deconstructing the myth and the perceptions, and also just making choices for oneself and being strong enough to stand up to your choices. And I think that's one of the things that the new California bill is upholding, recognizing transgender preferences in public schools. And that's what we're going to be talking about, along with other news, with Ronnie Ligo joining us from the Balita newsroom in Glendale. Ronnie, magandang hapon sa'yo.
Magandang hapon sa'yo, Janelle. No? Of course, we witness young kids going back to school, to public schools. And of course, there is this new law wherein, students in public schools, regarding especially those who are called transgender students, being able to use toilet facilities, any facility, it's either for women or for men or for boys or for girls. Ngayon, may batas na ngayon yan. So this is creating some confusion according to some reports, kasi nga baka malito yung mga bata, or ano ba talaga ang gagawin nila.
Yes, and pag sinabi nating mga bata, does this go as low as first grade? Second grade, Ronnie?
That's true, kasi may mga reports, like a few months ago, I saw a young boy who, is now a girl yata, no? So, may mga ganito talaga mga cases. But of course, like me, for example, I personally experienced some transgenders now using women's bathroom that I know they were before males. But, what can we do? Especially now that Governor Jerry Brown signed this law where, pupils, students in public schools may be able to use whatever toilet facility that they think that they should go to.
All right, defining terms first, and we've endeavored to do this before on the show. For those of you who missed that or are still not clear on what transgender means, Ronnie, transgender, as we know it and as has been defined before, are transgenders are people, let's say they're born male, but they act as female. So they dress as female, they have their long hair and all that. But then at the same time, on the other side also are those who are born female, but they act as male. So now those transgender students can now, if you're a guy and you're a transgender, you want to be a girl and you want to go into a the ladies' bathroom, that's fine. And if you want to be a girl and you want to be a guy, you want to go into the men's bathroom, that's fine as well, Ronnie. That's just among other things that are included in this bill. But Ronnie, the confusion, I can see that, but also at the same time, what about predators? Do you think that there's concern that some predators may use this to maybe, take advantage of the position, take advantage of the law?
This is a new law. We don't know how this actually will affect students, especially the Catholic schools. We have a lot of Catholic schools here, although this is supposedly for public schools only, but then it might create confusion because some students, of course, visit other schools. What about libraries, for example? You will know that students use libraries, public libraries, and how are they going to react? Well, I guess this is a new day, a new, really, thing for Californians. Well, of course, like, this is something that they will have to deal with. I don't know how parents they're going to tell their students how to react or how to deal with this issue.
Okay. I'm sure this is not the last time that we'll hear about this. I'm sure this will give birth to many, many debates. And speaking of debates, Ronnie, another news coming from the Philippines is the increased talks about increased U.S. military presence in the Philippines, which is also a topic of debate for many, many, many years now.
Yes, of course, the Philippines used to host two of the biggest military U.S. bases in the Philippines, Subic Naval Base and then Clark Airfield. These were removed in 1991 when our Philippine Senate did not ratify a new treaty between the two countries. Now, however, because of the China, with threat of, and its bullying tactics are happening around Asian region, the Philippine government is now thinking of, building up its forces because practically we don't have anything to defend ourselves just in case a war will happen between us and China, of course. Now they're trying to convince the United States for more U.S. military presence, even rotating more U.S. soldiers. But of course, we already know that there is a standing visiting forces agreement between the two countries. Now, how is this going to affect our national integrity, our national sovereignty? And because, of course, the United States, even if they bring in forces and if they bring in more military hardware, they have this policy of not denying and not revealing anything if they carry nuclear weapons or whatever in their U.S. arsenal.
And history would tell us that when they had military bases in the Philippines, there were a lot of human rights violation cases, Ronnie, and that's why a lot of militants don't want U.S. military presence in the Philippines. So the questions are, the question is, the very first thing is, how likely is this thing issue with China? How likely is it to blow up? And at the same time, is it just a matter of exploiting this issue in order to have that military presence back in the Philippines? But I'm sure, and we know that one segment is not enough to talk about all that.
Yeah, a good thing you mentioned, Janelle, because of that history. Now hopefully we know how to deal with new problems that may crop up just in case there will be an increase in U.S. military presence in the Philippines.
All right. Meanwhile, mas marami pang balita, Ronnie, sa...
Of course, amin pong mga pahayagan, Weekend Balita at saka US Asian Post, and our websites, weekendbalita.com and usasianpost.com.
Ronnie Ligo. Yes, Ronnie Ligo, Editor-in-Chief of Weekend Balita. More power to you. Meanwhile, when we return on the show, Real Estate Update, don't go away.